Okay, we're going to do more plumbing. This one's going to be on toilets, and we're going to start with this toilet. This toilet has a fill valve that has the ball on it. So what you can do to adjust the water, because now if you see the water's at the very top of the flush valve, and it's, the toilet's actual tank has a line where it's ideal level to keep the water so it flushes properly, and it's actually lower than what the water is in this tank. So a lot of people like to bend the ball down with their hands, just bend it over, and that keeps it from filling up as much. It actually has a screw on top of this type, and what you can do is take a screwdriver, you can hold this down, and you can clockwise tighten it, and that actually, let's see, if you tighten it one down, it's going to hold it down. If you loosen it, it's going to raise it up. So you can adjust it with that. Now, a lot of people in apartment complexes, places where people like to work on their own, they tend to break these. These break very easily, the plastic screw. When they turn them, they'll over tighten them and they'll break. And then you have to replace, the whole unit here. But it's just kind of one of the things you're going to have to do. But make sure when you put a new one in, you put this little rubber hose down in the flush valve. And if you don't, what's going to happen is you're going to have water shoot all over the place. And I'll show you a different type of a fill valve later, and it's going to be different than this one. It actually has the little float built onto it, and it's a water saver, and we'll get into that and I'll show you how to repair it if it doesn't fill up quick and all that good stuff. Other than that, these things, this flush valve here, what you'll have a lot of times, you'll have a resident or a customer will call you and their toilet will be filling up inside the bowl. So you'll have water trickling down in the bowl and you have to figure out what it is. Well, it's going to be usually one of two things. It's either going to be in your flush valve. The most common thing is your flapper. A lot of the flappers that get old, they'll get a ripple look, and you can just replace the flapper and be done with it. Other than that, another thing is the flush valve has a ring on it, a rubber seal, and if you can see down in there, below the flapper, there's a seal, and there's a nut on the bottom of this tank where that flush valve comes down. So the nut's screwed on, and there's a rubber, thick rubber seal up against it. And that just keeps the water from coming out, and seals the hole up. But down in the flush valve right here, where it goes down in the tank to the bowl, that rubber seal, if that bottom nut's not tight enough, if it's loose, it's going to cause it to leak, and you're going to have water come out on the side of the toilet, and you'll have water come out down inside the bowl. So if it's not in the flapper, try that first. The next thing is going to be to take this flush valve out and replace it. Now you can get a rubber seal, put a rubber seal on it. I suggest you replace it because I've seen these things crack and it'll let water go down inside of the toilet. But that's going to be one of your calls that you'll get. It's either going to be in the flapper or that. Or you may have to replace this fill valve. So, and the handles, these plastic handles, they tend to break easy. If you can get a metal handle and put on, it's better. It'll last longer. The other thing about doing turns and all that good stuff in apartments and hotels, when you turn an apartment or a hotel, if your toilet lid is stained or cracked, if you have wood, some places like to use plastic. Some people burn them with cigarettes, things like that, but the plastic seems to not crack, don't have any problems out of them. They will loosen up, so always check and make sure they're tight. But pretty much, it's a good thing to change your toilet seat. They don't cost a lot, they come inexpensive. Later we'll get into pulling the toilet, showing you things that can clog the toilet up, how the snakes work, the snake the toilet out, changing out toilet flanges, the wax ring, and all that good stuff. And what you don't want to do is drop the lid on the tank and break it, because then you're looking for a lid, and that's not a good thing. And that'll be all for working on toilets for right now.